One of my subscribers recently contacted me and asked a very interesting question. How do you set the best price for your product or service? Well, in the next 3 minutes, I'm going to give you a very easy tip for setting exactly the right price for your product or your service. It's really simple and you'll get it right every time. I'm going to tell you a completely true story, and this story dates back to the COVID pandemic a few years ago. Now, during the pandemic, I was getting a bit bored and I decided I wanted to buy a new car. But I wanted to splurge out and get a really nice car, and I decided that I was going to buy a top of the range Mercedes, one of the top models that they make. But there was a slight problem. It was very difficult to actually buy a car during the pandemic because you couldn't go in a sales room, you couldn't do a test drive, you couldn't go and meet a salesperson, you couldn't even look inside a car. The only way you could buy a car during the pandemic lockdown was to go online, to pay in full, and then literally to collect the car without even seeing it. And that's what I decided to do. I don't believe in having car loans, I always believe in paying in full. So I went online, I paid a very large amount of money, and then I literally went to my local Mercedes dealer and picked up the car. It's as simple as that. Now, that's not the end of the story, because 3 years later, getting a bit bored, decided I wanted a new car and a new model. We all do it, don't we? After a few years, you decide you want to change, and I changed to a different brand and a different model. But the big question is, how much did I charge when I sold the car? I got the car at a good price when I bought it, but 3 years later, the car's 3 years older, it's done 25,000 miles. How much did I charge when I sold it? Well, the answer might surprise you. I actually charged exactly the same amount when I sold the car as when I bought it. And I got that amount as well. So I literally had 3 years fantastic driving in a premium car, 20,000 miles, in fact over 20,000 miles. And I got exactly back from what I paid. And the learning point of all of this is you should always charge exactly what you can get out of the customer. This might sound a little bit mercenary, but too many people charge too little and too many people charge too much. Now, if you charge too much, it's going to take longer to sell your services and you're going to have time that is wasted. And if you charge too little, then you're not maximising your return on investment. You're not maximising your profitability. So the lesson really is you have to do a heck of a lot of research beforehand to actually decide on your pricing strategy, because the 3-minute tip that I'm giving you right now is charge whatever you can get out of the customer. Not a penny less, not a penny more. Charge what you can actually get out of the customer. Now, if you're interested in finding out more about pricing strategy, watch my other film. There's going to be a link to it appearing on the screen later, and I go through all the different types of pricing strategy in really simple terms. It's information that is part of my lecturing for business studies, so it's stuff that I already teach my students, but I put it in really simple terms, all the various strategies that you can use to decide on pricing. But no matter which pricing strategy you decide on, the most important thing is always maximise your price to the level that the customer is prepared to pay. Not a penny more, not a penny less. So now have a look at my other film about pricing strategy, and that will help you to decide exactly how to get the right price and how to maximise profitability for your company. My name's Darren Bugg. Thanks a lot for watching. I make both longer films on business, but also some short 3-minute tips as well. Please remember to subscribe, to like, to share, all that kind of stuff. Until next time, I hope you're successful in whatever you decide to do, and I'll see you again soon.